Hey, Ryan here from the Airbnb Formula. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use a pricing software to make north of 50k a month using other people's properties that I don't even own. Using the Airbnb Formula, Price Labs, and a lot of other great tools. We can piece all this together, but today's video is focusing on what I do with my customizations to just squeeze every bit of profit out of my Airbnb operation. So if we dive in here, first thing, Price Labs is a pricing tool that fluctuates your prices as per the market trends. Now these softwares are great, but they do still need a bit of love and attention, and you need to be on top of it. It's definitely not a set and forget, but they are very, very useful for various things, including how to play the algorithms of the sites, how to keep on top of demand in case you're busy. But don't just rely on them solely for that, because they don't always pick out the right data. And I think you know your industry better, you know how your properties perform better than anybody. So it's really important that you dive in. So first of all, we're going to look at an 80% uplift on one night stays. When I first started this journey out, I did one night stays, and after about month one, I realized not only was it a headache, but one night stays can affect your weekend bookings. They can affect, if someone books on a Wednesday, it means a contractor can't book for the full week. They really do hinder your profit. And not only do they add cleaning costs as well on the operation, but it's just the hassle that it brings, the organization of it all. It's just far too much. So get away from one night stays unless you can make them pay. So as you'll see here, this software gives you an orphan price. Now an orphan day price basically means if someone books on a Wednesday, let's say someone books on a Monday for 2 nights, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so they're checking out on Wednesday, but then someone's booked on a Friday to come in, then if you've got a 2-night minimum stay, the Thursday night will not be able to be booked as per your rules of a 2-night minimum. Now, an orphan day is the day that sits in between. Now, what I have here is I have an 80% premium on my orphan days. So if someone wants to stay in one of my locations, but it's only for one night, then if they're willing to pay the 80% uplift on the normal price, then I'm quite happy to host them, because effectively it's like getting 1.75 night stays anyway in terms of pricing. So then the hassle factor goes out the window and your profit margins remain. So that's the only way that I will do a one night booking. But for me, a lot of operators do miss out by not having this sort of strategy in place. They don't have an orphan strategy in place, and they just give up on those one night bookings that get trapped either side of 2 other bookings. So that's point number 1 of how you can sort of squeeze some extra money out of your operation. The next one is get your customization sorted, events calendars. So I have my guest handlers in my software, in my events calendars of all the locations that we've got. This one here is for the Northeast that I'm going to show you. So they're constantly looking at what's coming up, and what big events are being released, what's on the cards, and we're constantly tweaking the prices. So as you can see here, we have date specific customizations for the Northeast based on what's coming up in 2021. So we've got Easter holidays, half-term holidays. We've got the Great North Run, which is a huge event for our region. Not only will Newcastle be full, but North Shields, South Shields, Durham, Sunderland, and all surrounding areas as well. So huge event. And if we capture this, then we'll do very well. I made the mistake. My first ever Airbnb booking was on Great North Run weekend. I sold the flat for £50 a night, and the guy booked one night. Big lesson learned. The following year, I sold the same flat for £750 a night for a 3-night minimum stay. So that was, just coming back to, you don't know what you don't know. And, I listed it, obviously, eager runner picked up on it and, took advantage of my inexperience in how we list these things. But I quickly learned from that mistake, and that's why I've been all over event calendars ever since, because I realized the loss in profit and the loss in the opportunity there. So we've got the Rugby World Cups, we've got Christmas week, New Year's Eve, summer holidays, and everything else that goes in here. So you've really got to make sure you're all over your diaries. Make sure you know what's coming into your cities, into your villages, into your towns, and it's priced accordingly to make sure that you're rinsing every bit of profit out of it. Far out pricing. So again, coming back to the customization side of things, with Price Labs, you can put minimum far out pricing. For me, The way things are at the minute, I used to have this set about 30 to 45 days. It's now 15 days. Most people are booking right now within a 7 to 14 day window. So anything outside of 15 days, people are planning ahead for. So I'm quite happy to boost the rates on those. So my weekday price goes up by 50% and my weekend price goes up by 100% if you're booking outside of 15 days. Now, this again will tweak as the market starts to come back after COVID. I'll probably start to push that outside figure here from 15 possibly back up to the 30 mark. I'll just keeping an eye on the market trend and seeing how that pushes out. The great thing about these bookings are people that are booking far out are not price sensitive. They're booking for a certain reason and they want to get it secured. The fear of not being able to book it forces them to book so far in advance. So they're willing to pay more money for that. And to secure that booking, they're willing to pay more. So get your prices hiked up as a far out, but you've got to know where the market is to be able to know what your number is in terms of the days that you're pricing outside of. I've touched on it before, but minimum 2 night stays. This sometimes changes to 3 night stays. You can set all this in the software as well. You can also just set this direct on, Airbnb if you're just using that and you're not using channel managers or softwares. But 2 night minimum stay is really important for maximizing your profit. On average, most of our guests actually stay 3 nights, so there could be an argument to say that I should put it up to 3, but we do still get some good 2 night bookings as well, so I'm quite comfortable with 2 nights. At the weekend locations that we've got, we boosted up, so at my Dubai properties, they're 4 night minimum stays, so most people are traveling there for 7 nights, and most business travel is at least 3 to 4 nights. So I think 4 nights is a good barometer over there. So again, it's not just a written rule for every location. You've got to know your market and you've got to understand who's staying in your properties and then put your pricing policy to suit them and your minimum stay policy. You don't want to be deterring people off that could stay, but ultimately you don't want to be bringing people in for shorter stays when you could be maximizing your revenue, reducing your cleaning and linen costs by doing less turns. So really important that you understand who is staying in your properties, and you can do this a number of ways, but the best way is to just pick the phone up and start speaking to a few of your guests that have either stayed before or have just recently booked with yourself. Finally, don't discount as the stay gets closer. Okay, so I used to have in here a scaling discount down as the day became closer, but once the day's gone, you can never sell it. That's true. You can't get that day back. But the way that bookings are going at the minute, people are booking within sort of 7 to 14 days, as I mentioned earlier. So my scaling discount used to be within 20 days, scale down 1% per day, which gives a full 20% discount up from the base rate to the date of stay. Now, all I was doing was costing myself money there because most people are booking last minute right now, so they're getting the 20% discounted price. So I knocked this off several months ago, and we've had no difference in the booking. We're still as occupied as we should be, and again, I will monitor this as things come back, but right now, and I probably foresee this for the next 6 to 9 months, I will be running with a no last minute pricing discounting system, and I think that's one way to maximize the profits. So that's kind of how I work the numbers in the business, and that's kind of how I make sure that we're squeezing every bit of profit on the front end out of the business. And you can use tools, or you can just simply use customizations or just your knowledge. I used to use just a spreadsheet, and I used to just track all these things. I used to track the data, I used to track the bookings, and then I used to just make tweaks based on what I thought was a good fit. And then these softwares kind of give you simpler ways to do it. So each to their own, I guess. There's many other good softwares out there as well as Price Labs, but the strategy and the fundamentals behind how you make those decisions is exactly how we've just discussed on the video. So if you'd like a bit more help and you'd like to dig further into the Airbnb formula, then head over to my Instagram page, Official Ryan Luke, and hit the flow page link, and there's loads of great webinars, my Airbnb formula ebook, and many other downloads on there to get you started or get you kicked on to the next level in your property business.